Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you for attending the Youth and Education Committee meeting for CB9. I don't think it'll be a long meeting today, but we're just going to talk about the success and results of the job fair and the two events that are going to be coming up. And we could do a quick introduction of who's here today, and then we'll read the minutes and get started. I'm Sol, the chair.
Sure. I'm Melissa. I'm the vice chair of the committee.
Yes, I'm Billy Martin. I'm also vice chair.
And I'm Latrine Mavima, and I am the leader.
And I'm Sienna Mavima. I am visiting.
And Fred Baptiste, chair of CB9.
Thank you. All right, so we're gonna just start with the reading of the minutes. We're starting at 7:12 p.m.
Where are the minutes? Oh, yeah.
Everybody got it?
And could everyone just speak a little loud, please?
Yes, will do. Okay, so I'll just start
Oh, you
reading.
take mine.
Start reading minutes. The January 13th minutes, the meeting was called to order at 7:15 p.m. Members and guests briefly introduced themselves. We discussed the approval of December minutes. Members discussed the December meeting minutes and tabled for the February meeting. Item 3 was discussion. A concern was raised regarding the language describing outreach responsibilities. The current minutes state that SOL is conducting outreach to vendors and schools, including follow-up calls and confirmation emails. It was clarified that SOL is conducting outreach to vendors only. Melissa, Pamela, and Billy are conducting outreach to schools, including phone calls and confirmation emails. Due to the absence of Secretary Cynthia and lack of confirmation via the meeting recording, Melissa suggested it would be preferable to add clarifying language rather than strike existing text. The decision of those gathered at the meeting was to approve the to postpone approval of December minutes until February to allow time for review and accuracy. Item 4, we had a guest presentation from a group called Library Advocacy. The group was called New York City Family Policy Project, and they were doing library advocacy. Public Library Action Network is a library funding advocacy group in our community. The key points that they mentioned were the organization advocates for 0.5% of the total city funding to be allocated to public libraries. Current level is approximately 0.45%. Item 2, Mayor Mamdani previously expressed support for the commitment of 0.5%. Item 3, libraries are positioned as critical infrastructure for family well-being, education, and community support. Item 4, the presenter asked whether the community board could express formal support, assist with advocacy to the mayor's office and city council, allow for distribution of flyers and materials to support with outreach. And next steps would be flyers may be distributed at the youth fair on January 31st. And the committee will discuss potential advocacy actions in coordination with city council members, including council members Rita Joseph and Crystal Hudson. Item number 5, youth fair planning update. Melissa provided an update on planning for the upcoming youth fair, attendance and volunteers, approximately 160 to 165 youth RSVPs, primarily from within the district. We had 3 volunteers confirmed for the welcome table, 2 confirmed for resume review, and 1 confirmed to do interview coaching. Outreach efforts included email outreach to all 8 high schools in the district. Flyers were distributed near schools and train stations, approximately 60 flyers altogether. The board office contacted 60 to 100 organizations. 15 vendors confirmed that they would attend at that particular point in time. And we also posted the event on Eventbrite. We created a Google form, so attendees could RSVP, as well as a QR code, and we did phone outreach using a phone script. And at that time, phone calls to the organizations have been effective. Outstanding needs at the time included continued phone outreach to vendors. The goal was to reach 20 vendors. And other outstanding items included additional support with phone calls to the list of 150 contacts. Logistics for the event included food and snacks, which were being coordinated by Dante and the board office with the help of local partners. $150 was $150 donation being pursued from Senator Miley. Suggestions: reach out to the youth who attended last year using prior sign-in sheets. Explore engaging alumni attendees to support current participants. Follow up with Dante regarding access to last year's sign-in records. And I'll stop right there.
Yeah, but I want to double check on my phone.
Any questions, anything else that needs to be added to the minutes? Okay. So I know one correction is Senator Myrie is actually, they're donating 250 for the event. So that was great to get a little extra and we have enough snacks and refreshments for the event. So definitely say thank you to Senator Myrie for that. So the numbers are, we had 70 to 75 students that attended, and we had 22 vendors that were able to attend the youth job fair, which we looked at as a pretty good success, even with really not the greatest weather that we had, but we still had a really good turnout. It was peaceful, it was organized, there were no issues or problems or anything. And it was just like really good vibes on that. So, and I want to thank everybody who helped with getting the information out and organizing and making calls and all of those vendors who attended. One thing I do want to do is I think it would be good for us to send thank you letters to the vendors. So that I think is the next step to just let them know that we appreciated them attending. And they were like happy and satisfied based on the ones I spoke to with the event themselves.
And that maybe them this time.
So this is what we found, just through no data, through ACS.
Well, I mean, I think I would just write a letter and then give it to the board and then have them send it to each vendor. Because we have the list of, all of them and the emails. So just to move on, the next event will be the community cleanup.
I just want to take an opportunity to just thank this committee for a fantastic job. I mean, you read all the statistics and everything like that, I really don't think it really understands how great it was. 75 kids came out to this event, the committee was there, the vendors were there, the energy was there, the vibe was there, and it's truly something that was fantastic. I woke up that morning with doubts. I had doubts in my mind, but you know what? Being able to come to the event and see what fantastic work was done, and to see how you really impacted the lives of 75 youth in this district was phenomenal, and I am beyond proud. So I just thank you for this. And the one thing I can say is this is not a fluke. This committee has done fantastic work before, so I thank you on behalf of the board, and just say continue, whatever we can do to support you as you continue having these fantastic programs that impact our youth, which really probably is our great strategy.
And I think another thing that was saying when Dante and I was looking, because there were quite a few vendors that were also for just adults, like they were literally offering jobs, and that maybe next year we don't say it's just for youth, maybe we might open up and say it's for adults too, which would then, open up opportunities for more people or more adults to come, because even some of the youth jobs, they had some that were over 18. So we had quite a few that could have accommodated young people as well as adults. So, maybe next year we'll market it more that way.
Or, I would say this, this is just me, I always get a little nervous, I don't wanna mix too close. But we have older people with younger people, because sometimes we're just tripping over each other. But I mean, absolutely, I think you found that you tapped into a market, and you have vendors who can support those kinds of things. So it's a great thing. I will just say that, this is mine, but I leave it to the committee to discuss those things. But again, phenomenal work.
Or maybe we could say youth and young adults.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll target up to 24
Yeah.
versus, you know what I mean, instead of just feeling like it's teenagers. Okay. So the next two events coming up is we're working to do the community cleanup. With the community cleanup, you know, I know that the board has the materials that we use, which is the gloves, the bags, so that we can walk around the neighborhood and clean up. How we did that last year, we just basically had whoever came to the meeting, then we just like split ourselves into multiple groups, and then we did from
So what we
Eastern
talked about
Parkway
through
in
kind
Franklin
of data
down to, I think, Eastern Parkway and Rogers down to Empire. And we just like split into sections and took those
new
three, so
buildings,
it's Franklin,
6,
Bedford,
alteration,
Rogers, and then we walked down, the groups just walked down and we just cleaned everything in between.
So yeah, this
And
was
then
this
we
was
all
what we
met
found
at
through
Empire over by the park
really
by
through
the
December
school.
2020.
And, you know, have our discussion and then we discuss from there.
Being added like
So I think it's simple, I know we could do the same thing this year, I guess maybe we'll just create something to see who would like to volunteer. Maybe we wanna create a tracking system on
Okay,
that, or
and this
like how do we
one,
wanna?
if y'all
I think we just invited each other, it was mostly committee members, but then committee members invited friends, and that's how we
one
had
to
a
two
good number of
families,
people.
public facilities.
Do we wanna make it more?
Invite.
Percentages,
Yeah,
that
we
are
can bring it
helpful
up at the
to
next meeting.
see it, as you can see, it's a lot of.
Would they, maybe put it on the event, right?
Kind of the rest of
Do we
virtual
want to?
office, open space out
Oh,
back.
just a suggestion, I mean.
Just so we can track something.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was really great using the Eventbrite when the kids came in.
So,
Using the
Super
Zoom
scary.
system.
Yeah.
same exact number, just kind of seeing it as, residential
Okay.
spaces.
And then the next one that's being worked on is the town hall panel discussion. I know that Dewey has been taking the lead, but I would like us to be more inclusive with that. So if you wanna give any updates around that, then we can.
6% is residential. So just showing it kind of further how.
I do wanna go back to what you just shared about the job fair, but I'm gonna go back to that at another time. I don't wanna bring that conversation now because we have another guest, and I don't wanna scare her off, but I do want to respond to what you shared, thank you for that, and it's a issue. To the town hall, yes, as I've been mentioning in the last 2 meetings that I've been starting prep for that, everyone know how dedicated I am to the work that getting done. Folks already been reaching out, as I said, we already possibly have a moderator. I'm just waiting for her to actually put it in email before I even share that out and everything. I already created a flyer that I wanted everyone to look at today. I thought we would get it back, that's why I told you I have access to a monitor. But I can share it in the group. Regarding the town hall, I do not want to overlook the email that was sent from Sol regarding me, accusing me of overstep, the email that you sent, you know what I'm that you see Fred. I want that to be addressed in a public conversation, a conversation that includes everybody, not just me, because I don't want what last year happened to happen again, and it's already starting. And so I want it to be addressed entirely because I have a lot to share that I haven't before, and it's not fair to me that I am being disrespected on so many levels and it's not being addressed. I do this because I'm good at it, and because it's needed, and because I know at the end of the day, that young man and everybody in this community benefits from it. And instead of getting the support and encouragement and positivity that I should be getting, I'm not. So I want that to be addressed, please, with everyone, not just with me.
Okay, so this is kind of getting
And I'm
into,
about that. So with the town hall, that email again was disgusting, and untrue.
Yes.
And I have been preparing on it. I have a spreadsheet. I do share my details. I've done it the last 2 events I helped organize. So to even imply that lie is why I want us to have a committee meeting with you directly to address that. I have no problem sharing it in the group chat because there's no reason why I shouldn't. I've shared it before, even though the work that I shared before was dismissed because it was from me. So I just want to keep doing what I've been doing because everybody does this. And if you notice, none of my logo isn't on anything. So that's also something that needs to be addressed. But to the job fair, I do want to mention while we're here on it, there was a complaint from one of the vendors who I contacted, and she let me know she was upset about it. I guess it started late, and they were there before everyone else was there, and she was upset about that. And at first, I kind of talked her into still going because the email that she did receive, not the one from me that I sent, but the one that she did receive that none of the committee members saw prior to it being sent, she felt it was unprofessional and it wasn't accurate from what they received the last year. And I just, speaking to her, I just let her know, hey, do me a favor, send it to me what you sent, because I didn't know what she was referring to, being that the committee never saw the language that was sent out. So when I saw what she was referring to, I got it understood and whatever, but she also received the email from me, from my email that I sent my contacts directly. I didn't like the fact that she felt that way. If she felt that way, then I'm sure there was others that felt that way too. But I just want that to be known, that people are going to communicate with who they feel comfortable communicating with. If there's no one there being welcoming and open and on time, then who are folks going to turn to? I know Pamela was the only one, from her understanding, she was the only one that was there when she got there. And she was complaining that the vendor was helping set up instead of everyone else. So I don't know, because I was home puffing and puffing because I was sick, but this is what information that was shared with me from a vendor who was here. So I wasn't a part of the preparations. I was removed from it, myself and Pamela. Again, that's a conversation that needs to be addressed. So I don't know what led into that, but I do know what was sent out to vendors, what vendors received wasn't what the blueprint that was. So I'm glad folks still showed up anyway. I'm glad kids still showed up anyway.
So I'm unclear about any of that because the event started on time. People were there. I'm not sure what email you're talking about because the only emails that came from from CD9. So I'm unclear about any of the things that you're talking about right now. Or what could have been complained about. Nobody said that to us.
Well, if I could just ask you this point, I mean, since they communicate with you directly, you can let us know.
I want to make sure that conversation is with everyone,
Right.
because Pamela was the only one that was there at this time. You know, and again, that vendor reached out to me because they heard from me. I reached out to them to be here. So they spoke who they felt comfortable speaking with. It's not to sit there and be like, oh, so their concerns isn't valid because they didn't speak to whoever.
No, and
So-
that's not to suggest that. What
Okay.
I'm saying is, part of what I would like for us to do is, listen, with every event, there's always a hiccup here or whatever else. And if there's a vendor out there who felt that it wasn't the best experience, we acknowledge that. But I just want to understand what the points were and be able to just at least address that and say, listen, we're sorry for that. And, and be able to address it appropriately.
Well, I didn't like the fact that it was assumed it came from me. I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that anything, a mishap, had my name to it.
No, understood. And then what I'm saying is, we just want to be able to address that, so, at some point, let's just make sure we are able to see the letter, see what the points were, and be able to address them.
Yeah,
Just don't have to-
absolutely. Because I did print out a picture.
That's fine.
Feedback is great, so I
Excuse me?
appreciate, said feedback is great, I appreciate you sharing your feedback with the community. Thank you.
Now, okay.
So what is needed to have complete or move on for the town hall?
Right now, I want everyone to get their input on the flyer. I'm waiting on the Eventbrite link from Dante so that I can update the flyer, because right now I just have a mock-up of what it looks like. Actually, I'm gonna show it right now, right here. But, yeah. So right now, there isn't anything that anyone needs to do directly, but once the Eventbrite is created, then we can start sending out, hey, register. For those, can you do me a favor? What's the password to the Wi-Fi?
Oh, it's right here?
Yeah.
A network name, BKCB9 guest,
Is it one word?
Community, yeah.
one word, and then password is Community District 9,
All lowercase.
COMMUNITRICT9.
Sorry. Hold on a second.
All lowercase.
It'll help if I can show it to you.
Yeah.
I wanted to say it and spell it out because of the gentleman that's doing the sign.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And you said it's community
District 9.
district.
All lowercase.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But wait, once I can go through my presentation, I can be more accurate in sharing details. Yeah, but right now, like I said, I'm just waiting on the link to be created, the Eventbrite link to be created. I got this in an email to fill out. I forgot I already had it. I just forgot what you called it, because when you mentioned it in the meeting, I didn't know what you were talking about at first. But then someone else reminded me that you did it last year, and I had it. So I can update this once I know. Once I get that, they can go together. Is one word, or is it a space between?
No.
One word,
So Community District number 9.
number 9, yes.
But besides that, let me just go off the top of my head. Again, the aim, the target aim is educators, elite educators, principals, superintendents, attorneys in education. I know there's a union now for attorneys that defend foster kids. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that. I was hoping Pam would be here, but she would know probably. And there's a new organization that I'm not familiar with called CTPS. It's a Center for Teacher Parent Support, something like that. Does that sound familiar to anybody?
No, I think Pam would have known, but as far as the union, I can find that out.
Okay, I am also reaching out to UFT.
Okay.
To be a part of it, on the panel, there was some interest last year. One of them wanted to be on it. But I'm kind of reaching out to the president, those higher ups and everything. I also have interest from West Jackson to be a part of the panel as well. I don't know yet, depending on his schedule confirmation. Again, I'm waiting on folks to give me a yes and then put the yes in writing before I bring it, to others. Politicians wise, the only one right now who's yes is Rita Joseph, and this time what I want to do is, instead of asking them to be on the panel, which we don't want because of what happened at the chancellor's thing, but for them to at least contribute something, or at least come by and share some words of support, or whatever the case may be. I also, in my letter to them, I'm asking them to recommend an educator to acknowledge, because I know there are educators that's been in this district for decades, just to acknowledge and get something nice to do and whatever. And my letter that I'm sending them is to ask them to fund something to get for them. So to kind of watch that in the next. Who else? The principals, superintendent. Lindsay is a yes, again, wait for her to put it in writing. And all, I'd also reached out to, I heard back from District 19 Superintendent, and I'm forgetting his name, the high school superintendent, his name is Michael something. Yeah,
Oh, okay, are those folks that you're listing off, those are?
I'm just speaking off the top of my
These are
head.
just
off the notes.
invited, these are just invited guests, they're not panelists.
The educators are panelists.
Which educators? Do you want me to like include it in the minutes?
No, because I'm waiting for them
So
again
you
to
just-
confirm.
Okay.
Yeah, being that everyone's schedule is kind of like during spring and May and June or whatever, and this is the end of April. I'm reaching out to them now so that they have the bug in their ear, and the fact that people was talking about it from last year, we have that leg up that I don't want to like miss. So yeah.
So what should I write for the minutes?
That we're
right
still
now,
we're still targeting elite educators like superintendents and principals, and those that support education in the community. Leaders, I'm also reaching out to vendors to help contribute food and stuff like that, so that doesn't come out. So I'm trying to make it so that we don't have to pay for nothing besides water. Yeah, because that was her, like, as you saw, Miss Joseph was very adamant about being up there, and, she's feeling it again. I think because of her experience and her,
Would she be more modern? Because I know last year
I think
she
she
kind of
would
did both.
yeah, I think this time
You're
she'll
talking about the
moderate.
council member?
Yeah,
Okay, the council member would be possibly moderate?
possibly moderate, yeah. But again, I'm trying to aim for someone in law, that practice law, education law, if anyone knows anyway. And anyone from PAC or anyone from PA, that would be great as well.
When you say PAC,
The parent association,
the- Yeah.
not CEC, I'm
Okay.
talking PAC.
so, okay. Are you gonna have anyone from, like the fire department that young people may wanna be involved with?
Yes, if they're interested,
Or-
because the fire department don't be showing up for stuff, it's the thing. They don't. They
Right,
don't show up for stuff, and I know they have a youth department, I know that.
and also the police department has, what is it called?
Oh,
So
we
it's the
talked
book
about it, oh
Yes.
my god, Explorers,
Explorers,
I think
yes.
it's called.
Officer Mays?
Yes.
Yeah, the 71st precinct, yeah, I
Yes.
reached out to her as well.
I just want to correct one thing. FDNY was at our youth job fair, so I do want to like make sure I publicly thank them.
Yay!
That we make sure
Okay.
that they did show up. They
Okay.
showed up and they were very popular that day too.
Of course.
Okay.
But I
Yes.
did reach out to the Officer Mays at 71st. She does the like recruitment boot camp training for police academy for youth. And I reached out to her asking if she's open to having them do a presentation on the opening of town hall, just to like promote that
And,
program.
and we are of military family. Do
Yeah.
you want to,
Right,
have that too?
right.
So is Fred.
Oh, you are?
Yes,
You're a veteran?
yes.
Oh, okay. Look at that.
Yeah.
Small world. But yeah, so those, just to give a feel of, I'm all over the place with it, with everyone. Again, if you know of any vendor that would like to donate their services of any sort, please let me know, because I would like to acknowledge them in the program, and also like find out exactly what they want to offer, if it's something for the audience or if it's something for the panelists, because I know folks don't want to be giving out, donating 500 cupcakes.
Right.
Where's it gonna be in?
School of the Deaf.
Oh, okay.
School of the Deaf.
That was last year, right?
No, last year it was,
Is that a process?
at,
Yeah,
Clara Barton.
What's
And,
the time for the?
the same, last year was 12 o'clock, so, yeah, 12 o'clock. And well, even though if we said 90-minute conversation, it turned into 2.5.
Yeah.
We're gonna really try to stick to the 90-minute, structure. My questions, so with the questions, I do have some prepared, but depending on who we get, will determine who gets a certain question. I do wanna do, like we did last year, that pop up, they don't know yet, and that's what kept the conversation so fluid, and so I wanna stick to that as well. we're gonna do it again how, have it on the tablet and the phone, make it easy for everybody, you know, so everybody see what's going on with everybody else, that's no paper, no paper, no paper. We're gonna do that again, because that worked, and, yeah.
Can you, I'm sorry, I didn't make it last year, I was
No.
sick. What were you talking about with the tablets? I don't understand.
So, the day of, instead of printing out so much stuff or whatever, I had the moderator, have questions on their phone or tablet. So we had a shared document, so any question that came, he was able to see it on his phone and read from there. And then Fred read questions from the audience, so instead of having people walk up and down the aisles, we had, folks, scan a QR code, put in their comment or question, and then Fred was able to read the question because he had on his tablet as well. And it kept the conversation going, and also like let people know that you know,
So there was
voice
an
counts.
artist, right?
Yeah, you can put anonymous as well.
Like
But,
a Slido kind of thing.
yeah. So as we get closer to the date, like I do have a list of roles that, you know, that I would like folks to volunteer to do, and everything, including Q&A, you know, making sure the Q&A covered and the lives. And hopefully someone can moderate monitor the live, so we have you know, we don't have that issue again.
Do we still have a contact with that book? Because if I'm talking education, I remember we had the book
Book with
giveaway.
data?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can we get a hold of them again?
Yep. Yeah, it's just a matter of, how many books we want from them.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know Twyla just said it, and she just went in and just anything African American, she pulled it. But yeah, they're open to that again and again. Like I said, waiting for the Eventbrite, you know, to really green light everything with everyone. But I'm already like in people's ear to let it know that this is happening again. Again, I do want to keep the core simple like it did, even though it was still, you know, balloons never fail. So we can do that again, and everything, and have a refreshments table. But I also, like I said, the refreshments and everything, I'm hoping to get that from participating neighbors, vendors, you know, food vendors and stuff like that. Any questions thus far?
Alright, so, you know, one thing just to kind of address is like what's not sitting well with me is like the accusation that anything was sent to you that was nasty or disgusting or anything, cause I can simply read the email, which simply just asks for a more collaborative process in this. Like when we did the youth and job fair, we like shared everything with each other, we emailed each other. We, Melissa and I, things were shared with the group so that people knew what was going on.
And that's why I said it's false, because that never happened.
So anyway, that's your opinion.
Okay.
So, but with this, it's kind of like, and it was even last year, as you're doing it, it's kind of like you're taking complete control of it, and then we're not even being included in emails before the board even is getting them to be aware of what's going on and what step needs to be taken. And that's all I was simply asking was, can you include us in this, and if there's stuff that needs to be done, we should be aware of it. That's all that was being asked. So like the claim of nasty or rude, like I said, I could sit here and read the email.
Please.
I would,
Well, Madam Chair, if I can suggest, just stay on your agenda right now.
but that's a part of the agenda because we're talking about this event. So all I say is I appreciate the great work you're doing with the support of the town hall. I'm being aware of the documents or for the education forum being sent out from the board to the board. As the chair of the committee and Melissa also serving as vice chair, it's important that we all include in the correspondence and every step of the process since this is a community event. There are also certain stuff that must be brought to the committee for discussion, voted on, and formally approved before official documents are created or sent out. We work collaboratively, just as we did with the youth job fair. So nothing should just be sent without us being included in the email. And this was something that I mentioned even last year when this was being done. Additionally, we need to review and agree on flyers and documents with the committee and things like that before it's finalized and distributed. Thank you for your support and partnership. So I'm not completely sure about what was rude or disrespectful in that. I don't see it.
Like I said at the beginning, that I always share what I do. Anyone can go to the group chat and actually look at my messages and see I share links and links and links of everything that I've done for the past season events too. Regarding this town hall, you all did not share anything with anybody actually. Myself and Pamela were the other two people who were supposed to be helping with the job fair, and we were excluded, period. We were excluded point blank, period. So, and Melissa and I even had a conversation, Christmas Eve, that phone call was? Okay, Christmas Eve regarding that, why were we being excluded, when I do remember asking when are we going to have meetings on the side to prepare for the job fair. We were not included. We didn't even know what the flyer looked like until after the flyer was sent. And the conversation regarding the flyer was why are kids' pictures being used that don't have parental consent. You know, I'm still talking. So, no, that wasn't a flyer. No one saw prior to have a say in it at all. No one even when you did, it got dismissed, because why would somebody want their child on a flyer that they don't have permission to? Don't know why that's a conversation that gotta keep happening, but we've had this conversation in length more than once, and yet the flyer was sent out regardless of the committee.
And what
So,
was responded was
so
in the
I'm still
stock
talking.
photo.
So, as for what the email said about being collaborative and communicating, that is completely false. And I want this conversation to have everybody in it, the whole entire committee in it, because I'm not the only one that's vocal about my concerns, how I'm being treated.
Is it okay, Okay. The flyer had not been sent out at that point. That's why I shared it in the group chat, because it wasn't sent out yet. It was for everybody to see it and provide feedback on it. And when you raised the question about the photos, I believe Sol did respond to you. She let you know that it's a stock photo. We're not using anybody's children's photos. And there was another suggestion.
It wasn't a stop
I let
photo
you
because
finish.
I recognized the kid
Billy,
in the picture.
I let you finish. I let you finish.
Yeah,
One
so,
mic, one
like I
mic,
said,
one
we're
mic, one mic, right? And then you had some other edits, and sure enough, those edits were incorporated into the flyer, which I appreciated because I love feedback. Like, it helps me be better.
Like what?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I know that it was changed because it was changed. I remember that you said something else. It was something about where the phone number was placed or something like that. I don't know. Somebody made some kind of remark. It might not have been you. It might have been somebody else. But some comment was made and the change was made.
Did I make any edits that was changed, like was the phone number? It was because her phone number was listed on the flyer, and I mentioned saying that this is a community board event. This is not for her company. You're speaking of that?
We had already changed it because what was happening, we was there to help you answer questions. And then when you said that, I said, okay, and we changed it to the board number.
Okay, so how did, if it got changed right and it was sent out, whatever, how did it change again where your logo was added to it?
My logo was never on the flyer.
Yes, it was.
The final flyer that went out, did it have it? Or
Yes, it did.
No, there was no so on the flyer.
You had your logo on it, and you also
Okay,
had
show it to
senator
me.
information on it as well.
There's no, my logo was never on the flyer ever.
I'll show it again when we have our committee
So
meeting with
that's besides the
everyone,
point. The point is
because it was
that,
sent in the email blast.
the point is that the flyer was shared in the group chat, so that way we could get feedback about, hey, is this okay to send out into the community? And it was not sent out into the community at that point in time.
Okay. You're saying.
We can see what, let me check the email. I mean, we can just verify.
Well, my recommendation would be some of this stuff, you don't need to do that level of work
Exactly,
here.
yeah.
Madam Chair, it's a future agenda, and this is stuff we can set up a separate conversation for after action and whatever.
Alright,
So back to that, when my character is being attacked, when I'm being accused of something that I'm not doing, I'm not going to not address. I'm gonna either put it in writing somewhere, or it's going to be addressed in some kind of way. But I'm taking note of how many times I'm being attacked. I'm taking note.
You know, I mean, you could choose to take it as an attack, or it's just feedback.
No, that wasn't feedback, honey. When you sell the phone and you're saying to me, that, oh, we,
Should we?
If we can
Take it
return
off
to the order of the
record?
day,
We
yeah.
can do it off the record.
Let's
Okay.
get back to the order of the
Okay.
day and include the agenda.
Alright, so thank you for the work that you've been doing thus far. You know, we'll continue on with this, and then I guess we can sit down and have a meeting with Fred offline to discuss what steps and things need to be taken and to make sure that we get things on the same page. But, you know, there's no intention of attacking anybody. You know, in this organization, we've always been a committee where things have been peaceful, we work together. You know, it's not about attacking, we're here to do community work, and we're here to help the youth in our community, and that should be the main focus. So, thank you, and I mean, I'm moving to adjourn the meeting now at 7:51 p.m.
Oh.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mia?
Yeah.
Stop.
We're finished.
We're finished.
Oh, the meeting's over, the YouTube.
Adjourn?
Yeah, we're adjourned.
Okay, gotcha.